Hey everybody, this is Troy Alexander, Inspiration with Troy Alexander. We are back one more time. You know, every week we come on here to encourage you to never give up on your dream. We are excited tonight. We have a phenomenal guest. I got a thumbs up from the producer. Listen, but you know what my motto is? Dream, take that step and walk with purpose into your destiny. Tonight we are so excited, but before we get there, stay connected with us on Facebook, Troy Alexander. Listen, Instagram, I love taking photos, y'all, at Pick by Design, at Pick by Design. Also on YouTube, follow me, Inspiration with Troy Alexander, and our nonprofit, called to inspire.org, called to inspire.org. But listen, before we get there, I'm so excited that we recently launched our book of poetry called Poems Inspiring Dreams, Purpose, and Destiny. And you can get it on Amazon. But listen, if you want a personalized copy, don't buy it from Amazon. Connect with me directly. Either DM me or email me at iaminspiredtroy@gmail.com or m.troyalexander@yahoo.com. I will mail you your book. So I'm excited tonight. Listen, we have a phenomenal guest. I'm honored tonight to have this amazing young lady. But listen, right now, she is a state title holder in several pageants, including NAM, RIM, IUM, and COED. Listen, she is the first female in school history to be given the MVP Captain's Wrestling Award, representing her leadership and impact on the entire team. She is an advocate for the inclusiveness and fair treatment of women athletes within the school, which heightened attention to women of color. Skyy is represented on the door of the West Wrestling Room to represent all women. Please welcome Skyy Pills. Thank you, Skyy. How are you tonight?
I'm doing so good. I'm very excited to be here.
Listen, I am so honored to have you tonight. So proud of you and all that you've accomplished, all that you've achieved. I got to ask you, because when I first met you, Skyy, listen, you didn't, I knew you were awesome, but I didn't know that you were that confident or outspoken, I should say, at the time. That what changed? Because it seemed like something evolved in your life and a part of it. What changed for you that now you seem to be so outspoken about your platform and your purpose?
Well, I'm trying to think the first time we probably met. That was like, how many years ago?
It's been a while. Yes.
Maybe I was like 13, I think. Yes. So given that I'm 18 now, naturally a lot of things have happened.
Wow.
Growing up, I was super shy. Like, I always told my mom, I was like, I wish I could just hide behind you my whole entire life, like that level shy. Well, I have to give so much credit to pageantry. Honestly, it has given me so much confidence, not only to just meet new people and feel comfortable in my skin, but also just real life skills, like filling out a resume, doing an interview. So that has given me a lot of confidence. And joining the wrestling team almost 3 years ago now has really just changed my whole entire life. Just wrestling as a girl is so hard just because of the stereotypes and the misconceptions that there is, just given that it's such a male dominated sport. And when guys see girls on a mat, they're like, what are you doing? Or they just don't want to see you. So it's very hard, but honestly, the confidence that I've gotten from it, just knowing I could just stick up for myself if I ever have to, or just the courage and, again, the confidence it gives me knowing that I did something that so many people have never done before, that I keep walking into a room of boys every day and I stand my ground. And over time, the girls on our team really got respect from the boys because we showed them, like, this isn't just a boys thing, girls can do it too. So that has given me a lot of confidence. And being a female athlete in my school has really just triggered this passion that I didn't even know existed. So every day I would just experience small things and differences compared to me and the boys on our team, or just the boy athletes in our school in general. From social media, there was limited representation for all the women's programs in our school. And even just the fact that we were changing in the bathrooms because the girls' locker rooms would always be locked. Meanwhile, all the boys have free roam of it throughout the whole entire day. Just things like that. And the fact we were also performing in our old uniforms from like 1990 while the boys were getting new singles every year. But don't get me on a tangent. I could go on and on. But
Amazing. I mean, that is so phenomenal, Skyy. And you've just touched upon so many areas that I want to kind of, first of all, what inspired you to even go into wrestling? Because it's not something that you hear a lot of in terms of females going into that sport. What inspired you to even take that first step?
I think about this a lot. I think about it every day when I'm wrestling with like sweaty boys. I'm like, why am I even here? But I was actually on my way to winter track practice when something in my head told me to just turn back and go in. During the day, I had heard we were starting a women's wrestling team, and I brought it up to my friends at the time, and they were all like, oh, you can never do that. Like, you would quit. You're a pageant girl. And something did not sit right with me because throughout the whole entire day, I was thinking about it. And sure enough, I ended up in that room and the rest was history. I fell in love.
Wow. Wow. It sounds to me like you were given a challenge.
A little bit.
Yeah, yes. And you said, but you're so, now, had you done any wrestling before you tried out?
Nope. And it's funny because every single girl I've met who wrestles is like, oh, they have like a background in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, or they did MMA, kickboxing, but here I am. I'm like, I have no history in physical or like contact sports, but I fell in love with something that's probably the most physical.
Now, Skyy, now you were wrestling how many years in high school?
I started my sophomore year, so I just graduated, so like 3 years.
So you're telling me that you went from not having any experience in wrestling to let me get to being named the first female in school history to be given the MVP Captain's Wrestling Award. So you're telling me that from no experience, from being challenged first, right, to having no experience to becoming the first female Captain's MVP. What was that moment like?
Honestly, I remember sitting there. We were at our yearly banquet, and I kind of was just like, oh, when are they going to call my name? Because they usually do the awards last. And I was the senior, so I was super duper last. So I was like, okay, did they just forget about me? And then they said the most valuable wrestler. And I was like, oh, man. Because wow. I really, like, I've always had, like, a problem with, like, realizing my impact on things and just kind of being humble, going with the flow. But that really put things into perspective for me because I realized it wasn't just me speaking up. It was just the community of wrestlers who got a voice that was through me. So I was like, it was really amazing.
Wow. Well, we're so proud of you, and we know it's not going to be the last award recognition because you are so phenomenal and so amazing, and I'm just honored. I mean, so I got to ask you. You talked about how the perception of other people, right, in terms of you couldn't do wrestling because you're a pageant girl, right? Tell me about that experience and that part of your journey. Like, how did you learn to deal with that? Because I'm sure you didn't hear it just once or twice, right?
No, I still get it a lot. People are like, it sounds so bad, but people will tell me, they're like, oh, you're kind of like built like a guy now. Like, you're so muscular. Wow. Just things like that. It just has really put things into perspective, like gender roles and like just the stereotypes that female athletes face every day that I had never known because I'd always done something very feminine per se, like pageants, and I love dresses, I love makeup, which I still love, but I've never realized that there could be such a balance between two of them. And that's honestly been fueling everything I represent now. So yeah.
Awesome. I got to ask you, now, did you also get the same type of sort of comments on the pageant side? You know, with them saying, you know, giving some thoughts about you and some feedback? Because I know everything, you know, you want everything to be positive, but I know that sometimes you encounter those, right, who are not so positive. But did you also get the same type of feedback on the pageant side as well?
Honestly, most of my pageant friends don't even know I wrestle.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it
Ama-
usually comes to conversation when they ask like what my workout routine is or something like that. And I'm like,
Right.
I literally wrestle like 6 days a week. That's it. And then usually it's kind of positive feedback. They usually it's just like, what? It's usually like off the floor. You
Wow.
wrestle like boys? And I'm like, yeah. So
Wow.
it basically just comes from curiosity and just never being exposed to someone who did both.
Now, Skyy, let us, because I just heard you say that you wrestle boys.
Mhm.
So please explain to the audience, because a lot of them are probably thinking that you're just wrestling other girls.
No.
So explain to us how you are wrestling boys.
Okay. So obviously we have our day-to-day practices. And then we have matches, which is usually against girls because it's definitely more dangerous to wrestle boys, especially, yeah, that could just be a whole situation. Plus,
Right.
with just statistics and figuring out your rankings, it's easier to just keep competing against girls. But every day I wrestle boys. That's just what it is. Yeah, the past year or so, I want to say, because the past year I've taken wrestling so seriously. And that comes with going to whatever club is open. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a room full of boys. So that's usually what
Wow.
it is. On the boys team for my high school, I would wrestle with the boys every day. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Well, listen, Skyy, I mean, I'm just saying you are such an example, a light of inspiration. Um, did you have any doubts at all? I mean, because again, it's different, right? You're doing something that a lot of young women, don't do. And again, the combination of pageantry and wrestling and everything. So did you at all have any doubts about going into wrestling or about being successful at it?
Mhm. For wrestling, I think there was a lot of doubt because I look around and all my wrestling friends have been wrestling for minimum of 6 years. They've been doing it since they were little, and here I am who had just started basically.
Yes.
So there's definitely that factor of just not having as much experience. But honestly, over time, I really got over that because everybody has told me, they're like, I see something good in you, like just stick to it. And then I always have to remind myself that it's only been like a year of taking it seriously.
Wow.
So yeah, there's definitely doubt. And then just the fact of me doing pageants and wrestling, there has definitely been doubts of how I could manage both, if I can manage both. But I think there's so much value in representation and just being a role model that has to just go through the journey of learning how to balance both because it'll show so many girls that they can do the same.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Skyy. Thank you for being such a wonderful example. I mean, to other young women or even other, just everyone, and just to inspire them. And I love that about you. And I love that you're so confident and sure of yourself. Tell me, what do you have any way that you prepare yourself for a match? Like, do you tell yourself a certain thing? Do you have a certain routine that you do? Like, how do you prepare for a match?
Okay, so I actually bought this book like a year ago, I want to say. It's called A Champion's Mind. It's the growth, preparation, and maintenance of the athlete's mindset. I think that's like the official name. But that book, honestly, I've probably read it 4 times, like front to back, because
Wow.
it's just such a good book that has taught me so much from like my mindset to just really creating discipline for myself. I've really noticed that there's so much value in small things, just like making your bed every morning or making sure you brush your teeth like before or after a meal. I think that's just so important. And my last couple matches, I've kind of just created a discipline for myself and just a routine because I noticed that this is going to be like chaotic wrestling in college. So I thought it was so important to have something to fall back on. So as funny as it sounds, I always have Mountain Dew. always had Mountain Dew with me before my matches. And
Wow.
I also have changes of clothes that I change in between my matches and after warm-ups. So just small things like that. But I'm sure my routine will expand as the years go on.
Wow. Well, listen, I have to tell you, like, are you practicing every day? Are you going to a weight room? Like, I mean, are you doing weights? Are you like, tell me, like, are you practicing every day, certain days a week?
Well, I'll like a couple months back, I'll just show you my week.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
let's say like Monday to Friday, it would usually be, well, I sound actually insane how intensely I was training,
Uh-huh.
but Monday through Friday, we had our morning, well, we had a morning practice for the varsity boys and then an afternoon practice for the girls in JV. But I would go to the morning and the afternoon practice, which was 2 hours each. And
Wow.
then after that, I would either go to the gym or I would go to another practice, which was like a private with one of my coaches that I came really close to. So that would be 2 practices every day, Monday to Friday, sometimes the third practice if I had energy. And then when the morning and afternoon practices stopped, it was just the afternoon practice. So I would usually just go to the gym or do something in the morning. And then I would have practice in the afternoon. And if I didn't go to the gym in the morning, I would have 2 practices in the afternoon.
Amazing. Amazing. So how many hours a day are you putting in? About 5, 6, 7,
I'd say 4 to 6.
4 to 6?
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, it takes true dedication. Listen, I remember high school, long way back when, right? And I remember my friends, like they would do so much to make weight. I
Oh, yeah.
mean, their
Oh, yeah.
diet. Oh my goodness. Like, I mean, I'm like, are you okay? Like they would
Yeah.
do some really extreme things, right? Just to make weight. Do you have to do that as well?
Not really.
Okay.
But then again, it's because I have like, I've always kept a long-term perspective on things because
Got it.
I'd rather maintain my weight across a couple months than trying to
Yes.
panic and do it in a week.
Exactly. Right. I'm
So
with you.
yeah, especially over quarantine, I really focused on what healthy eating works for me and what I like, what I don't like. And naturally, I don't really lean towards meat or anything like that. So I got really into my veggies, fruits, tofu. And honestly, now I can't even have fried foods. Like it makes my stomach upset. And like processed stuff, I like, I guess because I'm so used to eating clean, it just tastes wrong to me.
Right. No.
This is good. This is a good thing.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Well, listen, there's so much I want to ask you, and you started to talk about the differences between the female athletes and the male athletes. What would you say was, because you began to talk a little bit about it in your opening, what was one of the major differences that really kind of you observed when you first began in the sport?
Definitely representation and just something as little as being recognized on our like bulletin for like the athletes of the month, stuff like that.
Wow.
Because when you look at when you had looked, it changed now, but you look at the athletics page for our school, I had a ratio like, it literally would keep me up at night. I'd count the amount of girls posts there was opposed to boys. And it was
Wow.
like 3 out of the past like 20 posts. It would be something crazy like that. And I noticed that it wasn't just a my school thing. Other schools would have this problem too. So that really bothered me. And just the fact that we'd have so much attention on, let's say, the football program when the girls lacrosse just won their state championship. It would be like crazy things like that. And we'd have some true stars and talented athletes on the women's teams. And they just really wouldn't be getting acknowledged the same way like our quarterback would. So it
Wow.
was, that really bothered me. And because nobody knew we had a women's wrestling team either, aside from like a paper that was like in a part of the gym nobody really looks at.
Wow.
So
Amazing.
that definitely stuck out to me the most.
And so it's one thing, Skyy, for people to see differences and then say, okay, well, that's the way it is. But for some reason, you didn't do that. You saw differences and you decided to take some steps to try to make. I'm reading in your bio where you talk about like you called a meeting with the principal or some higher people. What where did that come from? Because not everybody takes, right? They see injustice or unfairness, right? And all you wanted was fair treatment. So what gave you the courage to even take that step to talk to someone higher up in the school about this?
So many things I think went behind that decision. I just days on end, I would just hear the girls complaining and being like, they don't care, like they don't really care about us as much as the boys. And it was accepted. It was just accepted. Nobody like really batted an eye. Nobody really said anything about it. And I just I couldn't really stand it. And this quote, if not me, then who, literally haunts my brain. It haunted me because I realized nobody was willing to take that step and do something about it. I had read about Title IX and I'd read about the things that were literally owed to us by the school district and the equality that is supposed to be there. So I had that email in my drafts for a couple weeks, and my mom in the car, she told me, she was like, nobody else is going to do this, so you have to do it. And I was like, okay. And I hit send. I hit send, and that led to so much that I never even expected. I had meetings with my amazing principal, Dr. Morton, and our assistant principal, Miss Roscoff, and then a meeting with the athletic director, my principal, and the assistant again. And I became a member of the senior student council so I could talk more about it. And I also sat in on a couple town meetings. So it was a lot.
Skyy, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Wait. You go from someone who isn't a wrestler to trying out to becoming MVP, the first female ever, and now you're this advocate, right, for change, and you're meeting with the principal. Town meeting, Skyy. Wow, what did you feel like you were in your space, or like this is what you were meant to do?
Honestly, yeah. It's hard. I'm not gonna say it's easy because it's hard. Like here I am, I was 17 probably at the time, and I was telling grown men that they were wrong. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much that takes, because it's hard living something, your reality every day, but someone's gonna try to tell you that that's wrong, like nothing's wrong with it, but it is. So it was definitely a lot of research, making sure I had my facts right and things like that, because at the end of the day, you can't question the truth and facts.
Oh, wow, Skyy. I love that. You can't question the truth. Wow, that's one of those moments you want to capture you can't question. I love that, Skyy. Wow. And so you did your research. What was the first thing that you saw that was a result of your advocacy?
Honestly, just looking into Title IX, because I didn't realize that it's literally like you have to give girls just what you give the boys. Like you have to. And the school could actually get in trouble if I were to create a commotion about it. But just realizing that and just making conversation, that's another thing I had a huge emphasis on, because I hadn't been a serious female athlete really until then. So I really asked the girls I really didn't even know when I was like, hey, I know you're on the soccer team. I'm going to talk about the inequalities. What have you experienced? Tell me everything. And the feedback that I got was kind of insane. It was crazy how many stories girls had that they kind of just brushed under the rug because they were told to. So it just came from there, honestly.
Amazing. And did you receive any feedback? Because I know it's not always positive, right? But did you receive any feedback from sending that email, from having those meetings? Did you hear some negative comments, or was some positive? What was that experience like? Because I can only imagine that a lot of folks had something to say.
Mhm. Well, the conversation with my principal was amazing. I love him. Like, Dr. Morton, I love you. Like, he's the best. He's huge on like women's advocacy, everything. And he had told me our first meeting, he was like, this is my first time in like 15 years that anybody has ever brought this up to me. Because he had
Wow.
genuinely didn't think it was a problem because nobody thought to bring it up to him. So he was totally transparent, totally open to the conversation, as well as Miss Roscock, who is also my English teacher at the time. She's huge on like, same thing, women empowerment, everything. So that conversation was amazing. And they were just totally receptive and just wanted to learn everything. The whole thing was just picking my brain and my experience and seeing how they can really help. And then the meeting with them and the athletic director was the same, but a little different, definitely, because considering that was his job to make sure this wasn't happening, that definitely went a little differently. Just getting to really the truth, like I said, of the
Right.
situations, like why we didn't get new uniforms, why there wasn't postings of the girls' events opposed to the boys, things like that. So that one was a little harder to get through because I would kind of be shut down when I knew there was truth to what I was saying. So that's where all of the like facts and having to get my statistics came from. But in the end, it was really good. We got new uniforms, there's more postings, and the representation of a woman on the door. It was
Yes.
awesome.
Yes. Wow. Wow, Skyy. Well, listen, I want to applaud you because that is such a wonderful achievement and accomplishment. New uniforms. Did they get a new place to change?
Yeah, there's been like rescheduling because another issue was that the girls' games would be scheduled like right after school or really early, like so normal people working a 9 to 5 could never go while the boys were at like 6 or 7 p.m.
Right.
So that was another thing, as well as rescheduling some of the teacher schedules so that they would be available to supervise the locker rooms. So they'll be open, and I've used them this year. In the time that we were in school, I did use them.
Yeah. So you made history.
I guess so.
Yes.
Humble.
No, you made history, Skyy. You made history, and I thank you. Thank you for being willing and to have the courage to go forth. And thank you for your mother as well, saying, hit send, go, you can do this. Yes, yes. Yeah. You have to be the one, right? And somebody has to be the one, right? Mm-hmm. And so it doesn't always feel good going through it, but look at the impact that you've had on so many other young girls and young women that are coming up. And so it's amazing, and things that you might not even know or see, but the seed that you planted is growing so much to give people opportunity, young women, young girls, opportunities that they would have never otherwise had. So thank you for being a change maker. Thank you for making a difference. You are amazing. So proud of you. So proud. And now tell me, is this your likeness? Is this your picture-like resemblance on the wrestling door?
I have been told so. By basically everybody who's seen the door. So, but like now, very like humble. I'm like, oh, that's not me. But for argument's sake, I guess.
Okay. Well, we're gonna say it is. If everybody says it is, I'm gonna say this too. Well, that's phenomenal, and I hope you know what an inspiration you are, and I know it's not always easy, right? Because I'm sure there are things that you probably haven't shared with a lot of people, maybe that you went through, or just how you felt. But thank you so much for just being a wonderful change agent and making a difference in the world of wrestling. Now listen, what's next for you? Like, I know you're getting ready to go to college, right? So are you wrestling in college?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I'm going to North Central College. It's right outside of Chicago in a town called Maple, Illinois. Well, right now we don't have that many women's college like opportunities. There aren't that many women's wrestling programs that matched me personally, academically, location wise. And I know so many women in wrestling have the same experience right now, just trying to navigate it because we're going through such a growth period as a whole. So yeah, that's what brought me to the Midwest. I never thought I would be there, but yeah, I'm really excited.
That's amazing, Skyy. And so, do you see the Olympics, because they do have women wrestling, right? Because I did some, yeah, they got like, but it's not. Again, it's still about the advocacy, right? Making sure that it's on the mat, that it's. So, is that your dream? Like, is that part of your vision board?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
seeing
listen, I have no doubt, Skyy, that if it's your vision to be on the Olympic women's wrestling team, you're there. I mean, I know it. I mean, I can't wait to look on television. Actually, I hope to be there live, but if I can't be there live, look on television and say, I go, Skyy, because I love the fact that you took on something and you just did it. Like, I don't know. So in the matter of 3 years, are you telling me that for a sport that you never did, that not only did you go into it, but you became voted MVP and you're changing the landscape of the system of the school? I mean, that's powerful, Skyy. That is a tremendous achievement, accomplishment, and thank you. Did you ever see yourself here doing something like this?
No. No, never,
Like,
ever.
no. Wow. And so let me ask you, and we'll kind of revert back a little bit. Tell me about again, pageantry. You've done such amazing in the world of pageantry. Was what is it about pageantry that really inspired you to continue on? Because you've achieved some amazing plateaus in that arena.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm not sure. Like, I feel like every pageant girl could like say the same thing, that there's just something about it. Maybe it's just the magic of like dressing up, looking pretty. And on top of it, you're meeting like some of my closest life friends were from pageantry. Like, you're meeting amazing people, and the opportunities that come from pageants, they're endless. Like, you look around, and pageantry, I feel like, is so underrated because they've created some powerful women in the world. Like It Cosmetics, I didn't know it was owned by a former Miss Washington USA. Like, it was created by her. And then you also look at just so many things, like the Miss Academy, that was a school. Do you know about that? It's like an etiquette school, and it's like a full round pageant. Just, I really want to go. It's like, it looks so cool. Like, they go over your walking, talking, and just basic life skills, which is owned by the current director for Miss Teen USA and Miss USA. So it just creates so many powerful women, entrepreneurs, and I feel like it's just amazing. It's just amazing. It really is.
Awesome. Well, listen, I before I leave the wrestling world, I gotta ask you, like, do you have this alter, like this other personality? Because some people think that going from wrestling to pageant, like, do you turn something on, or does it just happen? Like once you go to pageant, like it's this sort of aura. But in wrestling, like, you have to have like a sort of like a very like attack mode, right?
That's kind of funny because, like, okay, so all my coaches, I get told this every single match, basically every day of my life. They're like, you need to be mean. You need to be mean. You want to like attack this person. But that's just not how I work. It's not. And I've been pretty successful in wrestling, so I think it's okay. But you just don't see that a lot in wrestlers because I'm very calm. Like, every time I go off the mat, I'm literally smiling. And I've been told by girls, they're like, I'm jealous of how happy you are the whole entire tournament. And, and honestly, I think I learned that from pageants because you're going to lose here and there. It's just part of it. And you just have to learn to smile, take it with like stride. Because at the end of the day, everything's a learning experience. And on top of it, I'm so new at the sport. Everything is just attributing to so many wins that I don't even see yet.
Wow. Now, Skyy, what has helped you to maintain that balance? Because so many people, because you just recently placed first runner-up, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And so what some people, they don't continue on, like they feel so disappointed or so I got to ask you, like, how do you balance the experience from wanting to reach a goal but being so close but still having that smile on your face? Like, what taught you that? Like, how did you learn how to grow from the experience?
Well, I competed at International United Miss in
Yes.
2019, and I got first runner up to the international title. And I haven't told many people, but that was a hard loss. Like, that one was really hard for me. I know I looked like smile, blah, 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 but the second I went into my hotel room, like, I threw the plaque. Like, it was hard because it was something I just wanted so bad. But it's crazy looking back, because back then I didn't have what I have now. Like, I didn't have a passion. I didn't really have something that I genuinely felt a calling to, that I would represent as a title holder. And I think 2 weekends ago, I was going to say this past weekend, because I did get first runner up to the Miss New Jersey Teen USA title. And that pageant was so different for me. It was just, everything about it was so different. Going in, I told myself, I was like, I'm not really going to go to too many coaches. Like, I'm not going to be rehearsed. I'm not going to really overthink this process, because I thought that it would just jumble my head and I'd say something that really wasn't Skyy. Like, it wouldn't come from me.
Wow.
So I really approached that pageant really differently, and I had so much fun. I think some of my social skills probably, and just the confidence to make more friends, came from wrestling too, because wrestling really creates a sisterhood, because you guys are so bonded from just the experience of wrestling as a girl. So that pageant, I've really made so many friends. We still talk in the group chat every single day. And honestly, I think everything that I'd been through these past 2 years was reflected on that stage and in that interview, because for once, I feel like I was speaking from my heart and speaking from my experience rather than what I thought they would want to hear.
Wow, Skyy. Wow. That is so powerful, what you just said. And I hope people really heard what you just said. From the first time, you had so many people kind of talking, like giving you guidance, like kind of telling, but and you wanted it too so bad. But then this moment, you said, I'm just gonna go in, right? I'm just gonna go in different. I'm gonna approach it differently.
Yep.
And I love that about you, because so many people aren't willing to adjust, right?
Mm-hmm.
They want to just do the same routine, and hoping that something else happens in the outcome. But I'm so proud of you that you wanted to show you.
Mm-hmm.
Not that having a coach doesn't mean that you can't show you, but just the way you said it and the way you approached, amazing, phenomenal. And I had asked you before the show began, like, how do you learn how to keep the true you? So let me ask you this question: when you walk on the stage, what do you hope the judges see in you?
Honestly, just joy. Like, this pageant, honestly, I always thought for years that it was so cliche that these girls who won like Miss USA and even state levels, which are so amazing, they would say, going on the stage, I was really just grateful. Like, I was thinking I was so happy to be there and so
Right,
grateful to achieve it. And I used to
right,
be like, okay, but like, is that really what you thought? But this pageant, that's literally what I did.
wow.
Like, I've personally been working on gratefulness and meditation every day if I can. So going onto the stage, I really was like, girl, just like let it fly. This is you. You literally gave it your all. And what else is there to lose? I made friends. Being on the stage is amazing during like a pandemic. So I was really just happy. And by
Wow.
the time top 16 came, I told my mom, I was like, if I make it to top 16, that confidence is going through the roof. I came in like expecting nothing. I mean, I wanted the title, but if I didn't get it, I knew there was nothing to lose, because I was just being Skyy at the end of the day.
And listen, just being Skyy is more than enough. So proud of you, Skyy. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love that. And listen, I'm so inspired by you and your journey. Have you ever been asked to kind of speak at different events?
I actually did a private, it was like a closed event, but it's called the self-help journey organization. It's a small one. Actually, the social media coordinator was a girl I met at the pageant, and they had
Wow.
asked me to help speak to their mentorship program. So that's
Yes.
what I did, about personal
Yes.
growth experiences. But yeah.
And so are you open to taking engagements?
Yes, I am.
Awesome.
I've really been, because I know I've already done so much, but it sounds crazy, but I really, really want to do more. And I know
Wow.
even in the age of COVID, this is the best way to do it right now, virtually, and just using my
Yes.
voice and sharing my story.
Love it. I love it. And do you see yourself going on into pageantry?
Yes, for sure.
Wow. And you know one thing you said, Skyy, and I want to touch upon it really quick, is the fact that the first runner-up experience that you mentioned at IUM,
Mhm.
you talked about how like there wasn't something else that you were sort of passionate about or wasn't. And this one, I think, were you saying that because of wrestling in your life, like that kind of helped you, gave you another sense of a balance of who you were?
Definitely. Yeah, because wrestling has just taught me so much about
Yeah.
myself that I didn't even know I had it in my heart to like literally wrestle
Wow.
people, first of all, or even just become an advocate. I never thought I'd be able to do things at the level that I am now. So, yeah, I think that's just been really reflective in everything I do now.
Absolutely. Well, amazing. I'm so proud of you, Skyy.
Thank
More than
you.
you could ever. I'm just so proud of you. And you're a shining light in this world, and just continue to just be the wonderful person that you are. I got to ask you, what is next for Skyy? Like, are there goals that you have? I know you talked about the Olympics, but is there anything else that you're working on at this point in time?
Well, college, that's a big one. I'm moving next
That's a
weekend.
huge goal. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm moving next Wednesday. So
Awesome.
that's a huge thing, just navigating my way, figuring out because what I'm passionate about right now is doing exactly this. So I'm not sure how that translates into a major, minor, all that stuff, but I have a bunch
Okay.
of classes, navigating
Right.
that. I really want to return to internationally United Miss, so that will be in the near future. And
Awesome.
Miss USA is the ultimate goal. That's the ultimate
Awesome.
goal. But I'm going to wait a couple years because I definitely want to come in with a mindset and just the life experience to know that I'm ready to be Miss USA. So at 18, I'm not there yet. So in my 20s, we'll see.
But but at least you can say it, right? So many
Yes.
people don't have the confidence to say it, Sky, but you did. I love that about you.
Mhm.
I love the fact, yes. I'm sorry, go ahead. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love the fact that you're willing to say it. And that's powerful.
Yes.
That's powerful. So I gotta ask you, what inspires you? Like what keeps you going? Because I know you must, like, both physically and emotionally. How do you, what inspires you to keep, what gives you energy?
Mhm. Hmm. Definitely during wrestling, just when I was like doing 4 to 6 hours a day,
Yeah.
it definitely had to just be proving something to myself because there's so much, I can't even explain it until you try it, but there's so much reward in just doing something every day. And after every practice, I would just be like, oh, I did that. Like, I learned something. I'm getting better every day. And that was definitely something that fueled me because I knew that it was healthy for me. And there was just so much reward in setting like small goals every practice, which I also learned from my mindset book. Just putting
Wow.
small goals. Like, I would be like, for a long time, I had trouble learning my sweep single, which wrestling people will know.
Okay,
I
yes.
told myself, today, I'm going to set it up. Tomorrow, I'm going to finish it. And then the next day, I'm going to do different finishes from it. So I'd walk out of a 2 hour practice having learned one thing, and I was on cloud nine.
Wow.
So definitely taking that mentality into everything, like setting small goals or just even, I know some people know that I've been trying to like clean up my Instagram. I want it to look nice and pretty,
Okay.
because
Okay.
that's even something small that'll keep me going for a couple hours. And then
Right.
we just move on to the next.
Right.
Because I feel like life is so much more fulfilling just having small goals, because that's what really makes you happy.
Wow, powerful. And listen, a photo shoot will help you add to your Instagram.
Mhm.
Not,
Yeah, I
I
know.
told Scott, so I told Scott we got to get it together. So we will one day, 1 year we
Yeah.
got to get together. But so happy for you and proud of you. What would you say has been your biggest challenge to date that you've had to overcome, whether it's pageantry or whether it's wrestling or whether it's something personal in your life? What would you say has been your biggest challenge that you had to overcome thus far?
Honestly, just figuring out who I am. I feel like it's
Wow.
very underrated, the journey that it is to just get to know yourself. Like, I have a book, I think it's honestly meant for couples, but it's like 3,000 questions about you. And I fill that out sometimes when I have downtime, because off the top of my head during pageants, even they would be like, oh, what's your favorite thing to do? And I would be confused. It's just small things like that. Getting to know yourself is so important, because through that, even just the small things like your favorite color or your favorite place to go on the weekend, it will like reveal to you what your true passion is, what you actually enjoy. So I think that's also given me a sense of security in whatever I do, because I know that it's genuine. It's not someone else telling me I should promote this on my Instagram or I should start this like an organization or something that isn't even my passion. So honestly, it just roots back to that, knowing who you are. Because for so many years, it was so hard. So many people told me to be someone I wasn't, especially in pageantry. And yeah, I just been finding security and knowing who I am and taking it wherever I go.
I love that, Sky. I love that, Sky. I love that. And you have opened the box of possibilities for so many watching this, because that is because that answer, you rarely hear that,
Mhm.
right? But you saying it gave it validation, right? Knowing who you are, separate from what you do, know who you are. And I
Yeah.
love that about you. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Sky, so much for sharing that inspiration. And so listen, I have to ask you, is there something that you have not done yet that you would love to do in terms of goals, vision, in that regards?
Mm, something I've done, I haven't done.
Well, all I know is whatever you decide to do, it's going to be amazing if you
Yeah.
decide to do anything else. So I want to ask you one more question, and then just a few more at the end. It's just what some people will say that you had to sacrifice some things, or what did it cost, right, to become you? And not that it's always negative, but I wanted to ask you, if you if I asked you, what did it cost to be you, or what did you have to sacrifice to get to the place you are? What would you say?
Honestly, it's cost a lot. And I'm happy you asked that, because a lot of people don't think about it, but it's really important. Because in order to be like the best version of yourself, you have to get rid of the things that make you who you don't want to be anymore. It cost me so many relationships. Like I said before, the few people who said, oh, you're going to quit wrestling. Like, why would you even do that? I'm not friends with them anymore.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
definitely put strains on relationships. Like, even my boyfriend, it was hard because there was time I really needed to spend with myself, like without him, and just getting to know myself outside of a relationship with him or any of my friends, because it's so important to get to know yourself, like I said before. And yeah, it's just been relationships and navigating what's good for you and what's not good for you. I know I went through a period of just deleting all social media, because you just need to sometimes get rid of the noise in your head, the influences, both consciously and subconsciously. I'd always find myself comparing to like Instagram models and stuff like that. But
Right,
it's
right.
just so important to like take out that noise. And there's a lot of costs that come with that, some relationships, friendships, environments that you need to just remove yourself from. But honestly, it's worth it because you'll feel so empowered in just doing that, knowing you did it for you and nothing else.
Everyone, do you see why this is the amazing Skyy Hills? I mean, it's such an inspiration, such a light, such a, a powerful influence. And I thank you, Star, for Star, I'm calling you Star, Skyy. Well, you are, you do, but thank you, Skyy, so much for just being such an amazing individual of who you are, because I do think of you as a star. Because you're just such a phenomenal person. And it's just an honor to know you. So I thank you so much. Listen, I got to ask you, is there anything that you would change? Is there anything that you would change in your journey thus far that you can go back and do differently if you could?
No, I know maybe a year ago, I would have said, oh, I wish I won IUM. Oh, I wish I won Miss New Jersey Teen USA. But now looking back, even right now, there's so many opportunities that I couldn't even foresee back then. And I think everything happens for a reason. There's so much, even this past 2 weekends ago, even when I didn't win, I found closure in the fact that everything happens for a reason. I know it might hurt in the moment, but I know it won't hurt in a couple of years because I'll see what that little defeat did. So I just find closure in that. And yeah.
well, Skyy, listen, I gotta ask you. My last sort of formal question is, I want to ask you if you had to encounter someone who just didn't quite yet believe in their dreams, didn't quite yet believe that they could achieve them. They're looking at you and saying, "Wow, I wish I could do that, or I wish I could one day be like you." What would you say to them to encourage them in terms of their dreams and to hold on to them or to go for them? What would you say to encourage them?
I would say, because something I really believe is that passions are laid in someone's heart for a reason. Like, for an example, one of my friends, she loves space, could tell me every single fact about like 10 planets that I didn't even know existed. But nobody could tell me that girl's not going to work in NASA and be so successful in that field. So I would tell them to follow that and unapologetically do what you need to do to get there. You just need to believe in yourself and rely on the people who are there for the right reasons. Family, close friends that won't tell you no because they love you and they believe in you too. When you're feeling down on yourself, rely on those people. Look for resources. Just really see what's influencing you, whether it be social media or just everything you do every day. Your friends, relationships, just really look at those, see if they're benefiting you, and follow whatever is in your heart. It's there for a reason. And looking back a couple of years, I never knew that there was a reason for how I felt, but there is. So follow it. Look to the people, the positive influences around your life, rely on those, and go running with it. It's going to lead somewhere great.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Skyy. You're just such a phenomenal inspiration. So anything else you want to share with us? Because I just want to give an opportunity for you to get some shout outs. And if anyone wanted to contact you or to connect with you, how to do that. But is there any more you want to share with us about your journey, who you are? The platform is yours.
I'm like,
We're good? Hey, listen, I try my best really to ask those questions, really to sort of, really highlight the amazing journey that you've had thus far. And I hope that you come back again as a guest, because I know your journey isn't over by far. There's so much more that I'm excited about to see you go forth with. So do you want to give any acknowledgments to anyone that has been a support to you in your journey thus far? I know sometimes it can be a little rough because you don't want to leave anyone out, but is there anyone that you want to give an acknowledgement to?
Yeah, there is a few, but I just wanted to say too that nobody's perfect, as cliche as it sounds. But especially having placed in my last pageant, I've been getting a lot of attention, a lot of girls reaching out to me. And I just have to remind them that literally nothing's perfect. Social media is kind of fake. So nobody's perfect. A couple of years ago, I had a really hard struggle with depression. I still struggle with anxiety. Like, I'm actually in Hawaii right now, but I was literally having an anxiety attack yesterday. I didn't even know why. So I'm human. I experience things, and honestly, reach out to me. There's nothing I love more than just supporting girls, guys, anybody who wants to follow whatever's laid in their heart, whatever it may be. I may not know much about it, but I could definitely help you with your journey towards whatever that is. So just reach out to me. I love to talk to people, help people, whatever it may be. And shout out to my mom. She's in the other room right now. My family, it's my support system, really keeps me going at the end of the day. My last pageant, I got helped by Carlos and Jeremy Monlux. Both of them have really been so amazing. And I picked them because they were coaches that really just didn't look to change the girls they helped. They just looked to emphasize and help them communicate better, whatever it is that passion in their heart, whatever they want to represent. And Jeremy has really been amazing. I love him. He will be my road dog now for pageant.
Awesome.
But they've both been really amazing. And yeah, I just want to thank all my family, friends. The friends that I have right now are so supportive. And I know a lot of them might not understand the whole wrestling thing, but you can't tell them that they're not my ride or die, like supporting me in whatever it may be. So I just encourage people to find the ones who stick through it all, no matter what it may be, because those are the people who will be with you at the end of the day.
Awesome. Awesome. Listen, Skyy, how can people follow you? What are your social media, or if you want to give them an email, whatever you want to give them in terms of how can people connect with you?
Okay. The best way would probably be through my Instagram, which is skyy.hills, like my name, SKYY, and then hills. And also my email, which is skyhills1@gmail. And I also have a Facebook that I'm trying to work on, which is Skyy Hills. I think you just searched the name. Not sure how Facebook works, but yeah, those are probably the best ways to reach me.
Well, listen, Skyy, I just have to say thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the honor. Thank you for the privilege. You are amazing, phenomenal, astronomical, outstanding, fantastic, super. And I can't wait to see what is next for you, because all I know is it's going to be amazing. So thank you so much. Is there any more you want to share with us before we go off?
I feel like we really covered everything. I feel like we really have, but I would just love if anybody watches, would like me to speak or really promote any organization, any small business they're starting. I love to just support everybody, help promote whatever. And I'm just right now in the process of searching for ways to use my voice for the better. So if anybody has any ideas or has any passions similar to mine, I would love to just have conversations through some ideas. So awesome. Yeah, that's all.
Everyone, please, let's applaud Skyy Hills. Thank you so much, Skyy. Listen, everybody, I'm so excited tonight. Thank you, Skyy, so much. I appreciate you. Again, thank you for the honor and the privilege. Everybody, this is Inspiration with Troy Alexander. Thank you so much for following us and supporting us. We love you. We appreciate you. Every week we come on here to encourage you to never give up on your dreams. And you know my motto, listen, dream, take that step, and walk with purpose into your destiny. Thank you, Skyy. Thank you so much. Have a great night, everybody, and never give up on your dreams. Have a good night. Thank you, Skyy.
Thank you.